Nobody starts out at work planning on being abusive. I don't care how bad and how ugly it's got. I can give people the benefit of the doubt and think that nobody actually wants that to be the way that that nobody wants that to be the outcome of their work. Yet from the days of the Bible through today, it's clear that it happens. More importantly, we have to observe that this doesn't happen in an instant. These things don't just happen out the gate. It doesn't happen over a moment or one service or 1 month. It's something that happens over time. Throughout their evolutions of whatever community. We'll say somebody starts a church or somebody begins to work with people. As that work continues and as it develops, at some point in time, there are invariably individuals who evaluate how the agenda of the community aligns with God's agenda and how the fruit of the work aligns with God's character. So you start out at work, or you come into a church or a community or whatever. At some point in time, somebody's going to start asking questions. Somebody's going to start thinking, and somebody's going to start looking at what are we doing, and how productive is it, how helpful is it, how useful is it, and how does this measure up against what I see when I look at the Bible. Regardless of if their questions are legitimate, illegitimate, whether they're well-founded or whether they're dumb questions, they're going to come around. The path to spiritual abuse lay in the way the person or persons within the community receive and treat those who find problems or make uncomfortable assertions. So in other words, the pathway that leads down to being a spiritually abusive community is found in how you treat people who ask questions that you don't like. How you treat and deal and respond to people that point stuff out that make you uncomfortable. Like I said, right, wrong, or indifferent, it really doesn't matter. How I respond to those folks, how I relate to those folks, how the community responds and relates to those folks. Do they become outcasts? Are they marginalized and tossed aside? How do we respond to people that are asking questions that we don't like? That's where we start with spiritual abuse. If we have a negative reaction or dispositive response to those people. When the spiritual community places greater value on defending or continuing the establishment than revealing God and executing the fundamental functions of God's authority, it becomes abusive. In other words, when I get more tied up in keeping things going as they are, and somebody's got a legitimate question and says, what we're doing doesn't quite look like God, what I see in the Bible. And I really have no interest in hearing or responding to what you got to say because I'm more interested in defending the establishment. It becomes abusive. One need only observe the relationship that Jesus had with the religious community of his day to understand this phenomenon. Jesus' confrontations and conflicts didn't come from sinners. They came from religious leaders who were more interested in defending the status quo than serving the people that were in need.